Hey, hi, hello, ladies. How's it going? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good. Me, I'm doing a whole lot better than Brady Eert. I'll tell you that much for free. For some reason and somehow, this turnstile drama got 100 times worse. This might actually be developing into one of the craziest stories I've ever covered here on the channel. And today, we gotta get into some wild, buck-ass fucking updates to this fucking thing. But before we do, my name is Dan Frampton, all one word, the O's a zero. I'm gonna need those likes. I'm gonna need those subscribes right now. Hand them over right now, people. I know they're in your pocket. I'm here to confiscate all those likes and subscribes. Oh, is that a couple hype points I see here? Are you hiding those hype points from me? Give them here, pal. What are you doing with those hype points? Okay, I gotta stop being a silly goose right now because we got an actual real serious situation going on over here. And sorry I'm laughing, it's just absurd. Because what you're seeing on the screen right now is what is being reported on the internet. Brady Eert of the band Turnstile, well, formerly of the band Turnstile, and formerly of the band The Set, and formerly of the band The Experience now, I guess, is now being allegedly accused of attempted murder. And not only allegedly accused of attempted murder of Brendan Yates, the singer of Turnstile's 79-year-old father. How is this the timeline that we're in right now? So, if you haven't been here on the channel, and if you're new to this drama, hi, welcome to it. I've been documenting it all as it goes down here on this channel, and it's been going on for a little while now. Let's say a couple months, because we got this guy over here, Brady Eert. This is the screenshot from The Set's music video, but he wasn't really made famous being a member of The Set. He was made famous being a member of Turnstile. Yada, yada, yada. Shit went on. Drama happened behind the scenes. Turnstile kicked him out. This is a screenshot from their story when they kicked him out in 2022, I believe. Turnstile and guitarist Brady Eert are parting ways. We are deeply grateful for our time together. Our love for him continues, and we wish him nothing but the best moving forward. I don't think their love for him is going to continue much past today, okay? So then a couple years go by, Brady falls into hiding or whatever, then he comes out as a member of The Set. But before The Set released their record, Brady's like, oh, I got some drama to cause because Turnstile just posted this Abolish ICE thing and I think they're being fake. So I'm going to call them out for being posers and try to ride that wave a little bit. But that seemed to be a pretty bad tactic for Brady because everybody in the band of The Set, his new hardcore band that was set to release music and take over the scene or whatever, well, they started to sniff out the bad behavior that Brady Eert was exhibiting. They're like, oh man, we got to kick this guy out of our band as well. This guy is a toxic nightmare. And I'm only going through it really quick. If you want all the details, like I said, I made long, deep dive videos on all this sort of stuff. Just go back and watch them if you want. This is just kind of like the brief update to it. And this was The Set's statement when they kicked him out. Brady is no longer a member of The Set. We will no longer stand with his ridiculous comments and behavior towards the members of our band and community. So they're not pulling any punches. They're like, this guy sucks and we can't be around a guy who sucks this fucking hard. But there were a couple people that wanted to be around this guy who fucking sucked this fucking hard. Or a couple guys that were like, oh man, finally we can be in a band. I have no idea why else you would choose to be in a band with this guy other than the fact that you're just trying to get a little bit of clout for yourself out of it. Because why would you want to associate yourself with all of this fucking nonsense? And now after today's story goes down, I don't think his new band, The Experience over here, is going to be around too much longer. And then in my last video about this whole topic, only came out a couple days ago, was about Brady Eert's crash out. This guy was losing his mind. He's probably out there in his room, in a ball, in the fetal position, being like, I had it all, I lost it all, oh my God, I lost it all. And he just started lashing out like an absolute crazy person and just dumped all of these texts. And it's wild, this timeline, because as this was going on, as he was crashing out on his Instagram stories, apparently he was doing something even crazier behind the scene. And all these stories were coming out over the weekend, the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th of March. And those were the days that apparently he went out and allegedly attempted to kill Brendan Yates' father. Allegedly. Because last night, Lambgoat, the news publication on the internet, broke this story. The headline read, ex-Turnstile guitarist Brady Eert allegedly arrested for attempted murder. So no longer are we talking about poser accusations. We're not leaking DMs. We're not breaking trust with a bunch of friends. We are trying to kill our former singer's dad out here, allegedly. This story broke last night around 11 p.m. and I was right there to catch it right as soon as it hit the internet. But I wasn't going to make the video last night because I knew a couple more details were going to drip feed into the system, and I was proven to be right on that one. So we're going to get into it all today. But the initial report read the following, quote, Lambgoat has received word that former Turnstile and The Set guitarist Brady Eert was arrested earlier this week on charges of attempted murder. One, Brady O'Brien Eert, age 33, was arrested on Tuesday, March 31st, on one charge of attempted second-degree murder and another charge of first-degree assault. The incident in question took place this past Sunday, March 29th. The arrest warrant was issued on March 30th, and Eert was held without bond since his arrest. Now, you see those dates? Sunday, March 29th, Monday, March 30th. March 28th was the day that this guy crashed out on the internet. That continued on to March 29th. Then apparently all these events unfolded, and we're about to get into all of them because during the initial report, no events were really laid out whatsoever. It was all just like, all right, this guy's been arrested and he's been held. The report continues. Earlier today, April 1st, Eert made his initial court appearance. A bail bond review hearing is scheduled for tomorrow, April 2nd, in Montgomery County. But last night, where this sat, we didn't know what he did and who he did it to. It was just that he was arrested and that he was being held. I was like, okay, I need to know at least a couple details. And I didn't know the details were going to be as fucking crazy as they ended up being. And we're going to get into all of those in just a little bit. But before we do, I just want to tell you about my comic book, The Scrupulous MOSH-MAN, available now for the low, low price of 99 cents at moshman.bigcartel.com. 99 cents for this thing over here. Digital download. You're going to love it. Anyway, moving on. So I'm waking up this morning, I'm making my cup of coffee, I'm rubbing the crusty boogers from my eyes, and I'm turning on Loudwire, and I'm thinking I'm going to get some updates. And yeah, we got a bunch of fucking updates. This stuff is insane, people. And just for a little bit of context before we get into this, Brady Eert and the singer of his former band, Turnstile, Brendan Yates, have been going back and forth a little bit, at least in private, and then all of that was made public over the weekend. Brady Eert accuses Brendan of having a gigantic ego, while Brendan is like, hey, let's just have a conversation, open and honest. I would really like that. That would be great. But it didn't really seem like Brady Eert was up to that kind of conversation and just kept on crashing out. Anyway, apparently this guy took a car to Brendan Yates' father's house, yelled obscenities for a little bit, came back later in the day and hit this man with his car in the driveway. What the fuck is going on with this guy's brain? This is insane behavior. He can't fucking cope his way out of this anymore. This is a clear crash out, literally now. What the fuck is happening? He didn't run over Brendan Yates. He allegedly ran over a 79-year-old man. What a fucking coward, man. Anyway, let's just read this article and go from there. Quote, the street the incident took place on matches public records as the same street as William Yates, 79-year-old father of Turnstile singer Brendan Yates. A Facebook post by Montgomery County Police Department recapping incidents from March 29 describes what happened on the street block. Quote within a quote, a suspect intentionally struck a victim with a vehicle following a dispute with neighbors. The victim sustained injuries. End quote within a quote, back into the article. A local report by the Baltimore Banner alleges that Eert struck William Yates with his car, leaving him with severe trauma to both his legs. Yeah, no kidding. This guy's a 79-year-old man. You're just gonna hit him with your car? Even if it's a light tap, that's gonna do severe damage. Back into this fucking nonsense. The report claims that detectives were told by family members that Eert arrived to the elder Yates' home, yelled obscenities, and honked his car horn, later coming back and striking William in the driveway with his vehicle. Loudwire has reached out to the Montgomery County Police Department and a representative for Turnstile. We're just getting started with this drama, folks. This is just getting going. Are you hearing this? There's no way this is going to be resolved by the end of today. Diving back into this thing. What does second-degree murder plus what is the penalty in Maryland? I'm not going to read the legal definition of what second-degree murder in Maryland is. That just sounds like really dry stuff for a YouTube video that's supposed to be entertaining. Anyway, I'll leave it paused here. You can read it if you want. But either way, take it from me, what Brady is alleged to have done suits this definition. Here's the interesting part of all this though. A person who attempts to commit murder in the second degree is guilty of a felony and on conviction is subject to imprisonment not exceeding 30 years. So this guy can get up to 30 years for trying to run over a 79-year-old man. And not only a 79-year-old man, this seems like revenge. This seems to be a deliberate attack towards Turnstile. Obviously, and going after the father like this is villain behavior. And here's another little interesting part, and I hope this part gets released. There is reportedly surveillance video of the attack in possession of the police. Yeah, and if it happened in a driveway, there's probably like Ring doorbell footage or whatever that's gonna capture this. I hope that we see it. Not that I wanna see a 79-year-old man get hit by a car, but it just verifies all of this stuff and we can stop saying he allegedly did this if there's like the physical proof. But it's being reported that there is the physical proof. It's being reported that Brady Eert is in jail. But as we sit right now, I still don't know the details about his bail bond hearing, but we do know what he allegedly did, who he allegedly did it to, and what he allegedly did it with. All fucking insane. Normally, drama that starts with a band member calling other band members a poser doesn't typically lead to a bunch of messages being leaked, and that typically doesn't lead to an attempted murder charge. This is a very unique case, one that I wish really wasn't happening, and it's definitely a contender for the craziest story that I've ever covered on this channel. It's this and the Just Insane one, and they're pretty neck and neck. But as I sit here on April 2nd, 2026, those are the details that we have right now. There's definitely going to be updates. There are definitely going to be things that happen because of this. This guy is going to get a sentencing of some kind, and it could be up to 30 years in prison. And I hope, if all of this is true, that he gets every last second of those 30 years. I don't want this guy to smell freedom until he's like well into his 60s, bro, if all of this is true. But I think it's pretty safe to say after this weekend, after this crash out, and after trying to run over Brendan Yates' dad, that nobody is gonna want this guy in his band again. This guy completely ruined his entire life. Holy fuck. And I'm only laughing because of how absurd it all is. This timeline, 2026, holy shit. Anyway, do you have any anecdotes about this situation? Do you want to comment down below? Do you want to tell me anything? Do you have any evidence? Do you have any clues? I want to know. Sound off down below. But remember, like, comment, subscribe, go to moshman.bigcartel.com to read my comic book for only 99 cents. Crazy deal. Amazing deal, actually. So we're going to round the bases on this one today. Goodbye, see you later, and have a good one.